Howdy, welcome back to Draw with Lizzie. This is my illustration portfolio that I used to get into university next year. It's built up of my A-level and foundation work, and I hope some of you find it helpful. Enjoy! This was my portfolio created within foundation in 2016. I labelled the front of it with my name, my year of entry and my subject. I just used an A2 portfolio, some people used an A1, but any size is deemed fine. I began with sections of my own work from my own personal projects, because it's important to show that you use art and design outside of just in the classroom and with your own work as well. It's important that you're able to talk about every single piece in your portfolio, so that you don't have to skip over anything awkwardly during any interviews. See, one of the problems I have is that mine switches from landscape to portrait. Ideally, you would keep it all either landscape or portrait, but in this case I've switched over. This was work from my summer school and from a later project, but they were similar in style, which is why I grouped them together. These were from my exploratory project, right at the beginning of my foundation year, but I still consider them my most successful pieces of work during my foundation year. I even made my teacher cry during the critique, showing her the project afterwards, and I felt quite bad about it, but everyone else seemed fairly impressed, so I'll take that as a success. Here are works from my A-level and my own personal projects, because I continue with a similar style quite often, and so I was showing this style throughout the times I've used it, and in both digital format, painting, and painting then digitally manipulated. Here are some of my abstract life drawings, because I was showing I could use different mediums. It's important to show a variety of mediums, but not too varied that your portfolio becomes complicated. Here I've continued with the life drawing, and that is because I have created my portfolio specifically for illustration, and in illustration almost every single university will do a course of life drawing. So it's important to show that you have a basic understanding of the human anatomy that can be developed and worked on. Here is my basic photography, which shows my particular interests in reflections and shadows. As you can see here, I've taken a load of shots from the ground, looking at the reflections of the water, and below here you can see my propaganda posters, which are all very anti-Tory. No surprises there, I'm from the northeast of England. Here I developed my own tarot cards for my Unit 9 project, and I was showing a variety of skills that I had, being able to translate an art piece into an actual usable product. Because obviously I studied fine art at A-level, and with fine art things tend to be less useful and more for show, and I wanted to show that I could develop something into a project, something that was useful and sellable. These were showing my understanding of the human eye and how I can develop a realistic picture, not just these exaggerated figures that I'd been working with. Here, they're called polygraphs, I believe. I created them when I was at a Sunderland University taster day for glass and ceramics. And what it is that with extremely hot glass on a metal stick, you melt it and burn the paper. You see here it was put into a mould beforehand so that I could push it down onto the paper and create these interesting shell-like marks. Whereas with this one, I dripped the hot glass onto the page and burned these marks into it. I thought this was interesting in showing an entirely different aspect to my artwork that doesn't always have to be very literal. Here are some very old observational drawings that if I were to redo my portfolio I would not use now, because they do not show they are not the strongest example of my portraiture work, but at the time I was quite proud to include them because it showed a variety of tones and mark making techniques. And here are stills from various video work I did over foundation and A-level in a variety of different ways. Like these videos at the bottom are from tarot reading when I was creating performance art. These are from stop motion animations. This is from shadow puppet theatre, and this one here is of my mum shaving her head for a particular project I created. These here were included in specific interviews for specific subjects that required different things. Here I have painting and experimentation of various sorts, including polygraph painting and printing, lino printing, mono printing, marbling, and glass painting, abstract watercolour painting, as well as some spray painting. Obviously that was not used in every single interview because otherwise my portfolio would have been very, very full. This was a fabric piece created at GCSE, where I stitched various pieces together to create something that represented the words on the page. And here similarly I created this stitched artwork full of memories and quotes, all stitched into card and different other textiles, showing textiles in an alternative way. And that is my portfolio from 2015 to the beginning of 2016.